Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time may be, wherever you are hearing me from. My name is Peter from Dio at Dately Business Hub. So you are welcome once again to training from Dately Business Hub on business plan writing. So today we'll be looking at how to develop your pitch deck. So pitch deck is just let me use the word like more like a summary, it's like an extract from the business plan itself you are writing. Say, for instance, you are trying to pitch for funding, you are trying to, have some kind of pictorial presentation of what you do, just like the usual, it can be likened to the usual PowerPoint presentations that we know. So it helps us to articulate our points in few words, such that anybody that sees it can really understand what you are talking about. So for that, today we'll be making use of two platforms. Basically, we'll be making use of Canva to do our pitch, and we'll be getting some information from ChatGPT, so that it could help you really get it right. So I want to assume that by now you have an account with Canva. Canva spells as Canva then.com. So if you don't have an account, you can just, go to your new browser, a new interface on your browser, type in canva.com, either register, continue with your Gmail or something. Just do your free login and you are good to go. So because we have a Canva account already, so what we want to do now is to just go to templates, and having done that, we would simply just type what we want to look for, which is pitch deck. So I will just type pitch deck. Okay, so we have something already. So basically, there are several templates that are here. Some are paid, some are free. So if you have a paid account, you can use a paid, something like this. You can see that this is a paid template, while this is a free. You'll see the pro sign on it. While some are free, but they have some paid elements within. So you can just look for a free element. So this is one. So basically, let's look for one. Okay, startup pitch deck. Let's see this one. So this one is fully editable, no, paid elements there. So I'll use this free one because you might be using a free template whenever you are doing. So basically, we start by just clicking to use this particular template. Now, so this is the templates that we have chosen. Before you choose, you can actually check through, you can check through to see what is the content, by just sliding through to see what you have in there. So, but then I guess for the sake of this class, you can always go through that. Now, this is a particular template we have chosen. If you notice, you observe that all what you have picked is not showing here. It's just one slide, while others are showing here. So what you do is just come to apply all 12 pages. So when you click on this area, it displays every other thing down here. So let's do that. So yes, we have it displaying there. So I guess that is very simple. So at this point, you begin to change the names, change the logo, change whatever it is you want to change. From this very first page, let's assume that your name is this company name. You can decide to leave it like that. You can change it. All you just need to do is to, work on it. So let's say, for instance, I want to change it to, say, Dio. So let's assume that's the name of my business, and let's assume this is my logo. You can leave it like that. You can also include the name of the person presenting. So I might want to change this one to Peter O. So, for the sake of this class, you can just leave it like that. On that thing I want to do so that you can identify each pitch deck, because over time you may get to do several pitch decks. So the name of the pitch deck is what we have here. That's what we have here. So you can decide to change it. So for this, it's just like a sample pitch deck. So I may want to just change this to sample pitch deck presentation. So the name has been changed. So the next thing is to move to table of contents. Well, the table of contents is just to tell whoever you are presenting to, okay, what are the contents of this pitch deck? So you can decide to make use of the table of contents. You can decide to pull it out. The choice is yours. But usually for me, I usually just take it out because if you are to present something to somebody, you might not have the luxury of time to, have table of contents. But then you can also decide to leave it there. It doesn't matter, especially when there's no specific instruction as to what is expected of you. Now, there are several ways you can approach your pitch deck. You can decide by first of all introducing what your business is into. You can decide you don't need that. You understand that you just want to go straight to the problem. Oh, our problem is addressing this, maybe, carbon emission, and you might want to just talk about the problem in terms of the carbon emission that we have, you know, just talk about the problem generally. If you don't need to go to it, that might be enough for an introduction for you, depending on the luxury of time that you also have. But then if time permits, you can have the introduction. So this template makes provision for introduction, the problem, target market. We have the solution, that is, I haven't discussed your problem. What solution exactly are you providing? So target market, it means who are those that will be buying that solution? What are those that you are targeting with those solutions? What are those that will patronize you? Traction refers to what have you done so far? Or maybe we now have a website, and by the virtue of that, 100 people are already visiting the website, or we now, over time, we are already doing this thing on a local scale, serving people, manually, and now we're trying to automate our process, and with this, so as to meet more needs in this target market. You understand? So just a proof of what you are doing so far. So marketing strategy, how do you want to market this business? You understand? How do you want to go about the marketing strategy? What steps are you taking and all of that? We'll talk about the competitors. Who are those that are also playing in the industry? Talk about our core team, who are members of your team, because that shows the strength of what you are really building. Then we have your contact information, and that's all. Now you must understand that I have chosen this one doesn't mean that all the template that will be seen will progress this way. Let's use another example so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Say for instance, I think I was referring to this the other time. So let's pick this as a case study now. What we have there is a different thing entirely. You see what we have here? See, it's not like the one I picked the other time. This is more like a presentation. So you can use the same one if you feel this is more visually appealing to you. All you just need to do is change the content, change the narration, the heading that's been given to it, and you're good to go. You understand? So it's still the same thing, but then it might not be just word for word like that. I'm just showing you this so that you know that it doesn't mean that anyone you're using has to be like that. This is another example, startup pitch deck. So one thing you must have observed though is that one key thing you will see is the introduction, the problem statement, target market, and on like that. So because of our time, let's just go back to the templates that we have already. So we are going back to the beginning, and I'll just try to walk you through gradually, then you can do some in-depth review in that regard. So what is introduction trying to talk about? What exactly, who are you? What do you do exactly? So to make this work much more easier, I'll also be using another tool, which is AI, ChatGPT, so that you might be confused that, okay, how do I even put this idea to work? How do I put some things together and all like that? So earlier today, I was just working around some documents, and I'll be using that as a case study. So there's an idea I was just trying to play around initially about mining. I'd feed the system some information, and we've written some things around the business plan based on that. You understand? So what do I mean? If you know how to use ChatGPT very well, you know that whatever it's giving you is based on the information you've given it. So I've given it that, okay, this business is into, I was trying to use something on atmospheric condition the other time, say carbon emission. You can say, okay, this is what our business is into, this is what we do. Just type it and give it to you and let you know that, okay, based on that, you are presenting a pitch deck. So I've done that before now, and I've just told it, okay, assuming you want to create a pitch deck for this business idea, develop an outline for to be used. Now I'm doing that because I want to show this to you so that you see the progression of what it will give to me. And you can see that it has also given me like an introduction, problem statement and all of that. Now, you must note that your pitch deck doesn't have to be so worded rather. It should have to do with, just go straight to the point of, preferably if you have access to data like facts and figures, you can just use those facts. So let's start with the introduction, assuming we want to put the introduction there. So let me tell you to just give me like a brief introduction about what we do in, say, 50 words. So let's start. So all you need to do is just, we're working on this. I will just copy it and put it. You can type it also. So all right, so let's see what happens. Now, the name of the business we're working on now is this. It has given a name, Co Forge Mining Co. Or Co rather. So he's trying to tell you that his position, basically to revolutionize the coal mining industry in Africa, and, commitment to ethical practices, sustainable this, that, and all of that. Just a summary. And that's why I say most times those things, introduction might not be needed. But for the sake of this, let's assume that, that is introduction. You understand? So for the sake of this class, I will include an introduction. Usually, I like to just start with the problem statement because that alone is enough to catch whoever you're presenting it to, right? So you can decide to take off any elements that you don't want. You can decide to retain any elements that you so want in it. So I may want to align this properly, Let's assume I want to change this picture. I can change it. So I also like to show you somewhere you can get pictures. So you can just make use of Pixabay. Just type this pixabay.com so you can ask it anything at all. You can just type something like you know, something like handshake, business handshake or something like that. You have seen several images. All you just need to do is to save this image, any of this image that you so desire, to start with, and you're good to go. So you come here, by the time you save the image, you come to import, upload rather. So you can decide to upload the image and you're good to go. So that's that about that. So the next thing is to move to problem statement. So now we want to go to the problem. What exactly is a problem that you're solving? You understand? So, and don't forget that ChatGPT also gave us problem as the next thing to be done. But then just ensure that whatever you're writing is not so full of just stories and stories. So let's assume that you have given it some facts and figures before. You can just tell it to create okay, so I've asked it to create, the problem statement. Now, if you observe that I didn't give it number of words, it has created something that's just created some generic information because, like I said, this is just a sample. I didn't really give it what we really want it to do. It's saying the industry faces numerous challenges, including environmental degradation, community displacement, and all of those things, despite all, the significant reserve, and all of that. So let's double ourselves with all of that. Now, it has brought in some figures. In 2021, the African produced approximately so number millions of tons of coal and all of that. What is that trying to say? You are just trying to make sure what you are doing looks is fat loaded. You understand? So you're not just blowing English, saying that you are trying to make it obvious that this problem is actually worth solving. You understand? So say for instance, you want to sell cylinder as something as small as say cooking gas. You can look at the problems such as deforestation that comes with using of firewood. You can look at the earth's implication, from the smoke that comes to the eye. So you can attach some figures to that, do some research around that, and articulate that problem. You understand? So, but this is too much. Assuming I'm pasting this now in this box, it's too much. I don't want it to be loaded with words, so I can just tell it to rephrase the above in, say, 40 word. So 40 watts. So let's see. Africa's coal mine industry grapples with environmental degradation, community displacement, and regulatory challenges. In 2021, coal production reached X million metric ton, yet illegal mining and deforestation rates surged. Ethical and responsible practices are imperative for sustainable development. So those things are important, and that is what we are bringing on board. So let's just leave it like this. Like I said, don't forget that this is just a template so that you just see how it is done. You might want to, do proper alignment such that it's properly spaced out. And don't forget, like I told you, you can always change this image. You can move anything. You say you don't want this, you can move it away. You can take it away. If you want to put it here, you can put it here. You can decide you want to put your logo, whatever the case may be, you know. So that's that about that. Now, target market, who are those that you're targeting? You can include them. So assuming those persons now, you want to really show, the rates along those, just click on that and it brings your line item here. So you have item 1, 2, 3, and all of that. So you can decide to change some of those figures, just change it as applicable. You understand? So let's say we are targeting students now. So you can decide to change this to students. So let's say we are targeting teachers, for instance. I don't know what we're selling. I'm just using as a case study. So you can change whatever it is you want to change here. For this one too, you can change it, this represents the line now, the ratings you can see. So that's that about that. You can decide to change this figure to 60. Just depending on what you are working on entirely to show the rates of how it is affecting these people over these people, or how these persons will need it more than these persons. You can reduce it if you think that you just need 2 of these ones. You can take the whole of this one out entirely. So it's not a necessity. I've reduced it to 2. You understand? So that's about that. It's very flexible. So I'm pressing Ctrl Z so that we have that back on the screen. I can decide to increase it too. I'm only trying to walk you through so that you see what is possible. Solution statement too, you work on that. So for instance, now you have said this is a problem that has been identified. It is important to know that the problem you are providing should be able to must speak to the problem. If you are saying that these are the problem that is obtainable and the solution you are providing has nothing to do with the problem, then there's a problem already. You understand? So the problem, you outline your problem, okay, this is problem 1, this is the solution 1 I'm providing, this is solution 2, solution 3, all addressing the problems that has been identified here. You understand? And like I said, you can always take anything out. If you feel that you just have 2 things to do, you can take out one of them. If you feel you don't want this to be there, you can take it out. If you feel you want an image to be here, you can replace it as you deem fit. Traction, like I explained at that time. Now, this problem you have identified, maybe over time you are doing some little things already, or maybe you have done, open an online platform and you have some persons already seeing what you are doing, getting some level of engagement that shows that people really want what you want to do. So this statistics helps you to work about that, around that. And so let's say, for instance, you have a Facebook, say from Facebook now, say from Facebook, you have this category, you already have 50 views. in this category, you have that's five. Maybe you have this again, that's just five. You understand? So maybe this one, in terms of Instagram, so maybe you can change the figures to, and like I said, you can decide to remove it to one. It depends on what you really want to do. You can also change the kind of chart you have here. You just come here, see the kind of chart based on what you want. You can change it as you feel necessary. You can change it to a bar chart or something like that. So that's that about that. Marketing strategy, how exactly do you market your products? Don't forget you have your AI there to help you. If there's anything at all you need, you can just come to AI again and say, okay, our marketing strategy. So um, let me see the way we have the marketing strategies here. All right, so you can just ask it to talk about your marketing strategy. Now, so this is what it has said. Now, let's take, for instance, it has said it has, given this information and you really do not like what it has given to you. Don't forget that you can always, regenerate such that you can get something better. That's one. Two, let's say that it's not really doing what you are, it's not really giving what you are really doing. You can feed it some more information at this point by editing and feed it some more information. This is what we do and how it can be better. So you can feed it some more information and it gives you a better answer to that. So that's that about that. And now what this does is this. Say for instance, for your marketing strategy, you have identified some items or options that you use. You can set to say, okay, 50% of all of what we do comes from option A, 30% come from option B, 70% come from option C. All of those things help you to actually just put numbers to it such that whoever you are presenting to knows that you really know what you are doing. You're not just, yes, I'm asking you to use ChatGPT so that, it helps you to put your words together, but don't forget that it's whatever you feed ChatGPT that it's actually produced, you understand? So it just helps you to say, okay, we have our numbers in place. So let's say we are, doing influencer marketing, we are doing maybe word of mouth, marketing strategy. We're actually meeting with cooperative society to educate them, to get association where members of people that we're targeting, maybe you have noticed that they belong to some kind of associations. So how do we reach them? You understand? So maybe 50% of our strategy comes from this, 30% comes from this. Just do something that is reasonable. You understand? So competitors, what do you mean by that? Who are those that are also in that industry? Say for instance, this is the logo of company. You can change these things, like I said. Say Dangote is one of your competitors now. So you can just browse Dangote, and what we need is their logo. To make the search easier, I can just include Dangote logo because now it's referring to Dangote as a person. So if I save any of this image now, any of these images that we have here, all I need to do is to just upload the image. And once the image is uploaded, I just fit in. So let's say EFCC is one of, you can decide to use it to replace. If what we have here is a picture frame, you can use it to change. But then what we have there is not a picture frame, it's just some elements. So because we have elements here, that's just an element. So that's why it's not fitting in. So let's assume there are options I can use. I can either put a frame here. Now I delete this for instance and put a frame. You understand? So I can, the image I brought in, I can fix it into the frame. You understand? So I can size it up to actually align with this space. So this is my option, computer one. Computer two can be this, computer three can be this. I just need to put their image to show that really I have identified my computer. So you can just see one or two things about them here, or maybe what differentiates you from the computer. Okay, everybody is doing theirs this way. This is what we are bringing differently to make it different. You understand? There's no fixed way to this. I'm only trying to make you explore what's obtainable. You understand? And So that's that about that. I don't want this video to be too long. Your team, who are those that are on your team? Don't forget that those that are managing the team determines how strong is what you are doing. So if you say you are working on something tech related now and you don't even have any tech person on your team, there's a problem already. Either maybe one of the funding founders or you have employed the person on a paid employment, as the case may be. So let's say this is one of your team member. You can change the name as you so wish. You can also include the title. Maybe this is the co-founder. This is also a co-founder, and this person is tech, related, co-founder slash maybe marketing manager or something like that. It just depends on the portfolio you've given to them. Change those things. You can change these images, like I said, I have mentioned the other time. So let's do some practical. Assuming I want to change that image now to this image now. Let's change this to this image. So I've changed that. So, but in a case like this, when it's not showing well, just need to double click on it. There's a way sorry, my system is not responding. So you double click on it and just adjust it properly and you're good to go. So you can change them like that as much as possible. Contact information. So now that you have said all that you have said, if those people want to reach out to you, how do they reach out to you? Just include your number, your website, your address, as the case may be, and boom, you are good to go. So if you want to present, maybe you want to see what you have done, you want to see what it looks like. Don't forget that we didn't do much adjustment here. I'm just trying to explain. You can just come here, you have the opportunity to present. You want to see what you have done. It's presenting from where I stopped, but you can present from the very beginning. So this is the beginning. This is what we have. You want to have a view of what you have done. And you're good to go. To save it, just come to this place and you download. If you are using a paid account, you can download a paid document. If you are not, you have to pay. If you are using a free content, you can just come to download and download. So that's that about that. Should in case you have any question, you can always reach out to us. Trust me, we cannot exhaust all that is that can be done. And that is why I'm not going to details to really do so much. I'm just trying to explain to you so that you understand. But then if you know how to use Canva generally, you can find your way around some of those tools. There are a lot of things that you could do. Say, for instance, you want to change some particular elements. These are any other elements that you can use. You can change anything as you so wish. There are a lot of stuff there. Say you want to include a particular text. Maybe this place now you want to include a text box there. You can just come here and include something like that there. And if it's something like this, you can also include like that as you wish. So these are possibilities. You want to do something like this, you could include any of all of this as occasion demands. So that's about that for today. Should you have any question, please feel free to reach out to us, like I said, and we would see to it. Once again, this is Dayo Adetiloye Business Hub Business Plan Training Program. And today we are looking at how to create a pitch deck. And I've made use of Canva and I did some little, thanks to ChatGPT, it helps us a little. And I also showed you where you can get some image from free image like this platform that we have here. Should you have any other one, please feel free to explore and just ensure that you get quality work done. Thank you. I would stop the recording now.